Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently working on building up a bit of a nest egg after we got our last Argo upgrade going. But let's go ahead and get some of these repairs done. So that will be awesome. There's a melee in the mech bay. We're going to send them to settle things in the simulators instead. Fantastic. They gained experience. That is perfect. So we will continue on here and let's get that awesome fully repaired. There we go. Excellent. Let's double check the mech bay, make sure everything is good to go. Yeah, the Orion is a little bit underweight. There's nothing we can do about this. There's nothing we can do for that 0.3 tons, as far as I'm aware. For the Awesome, I want to double check. It's a little underweight right now. Ah, it just needs that double heatsink replaced. That's what it was. I knew there was something here. So we'll get that double heatsink in there. That'll be 1 day and 1,500 C-bills. Not a big deal. Okay, so let's tick that on forward. There we go. And now let's see if there's any mech warriors that require training. And the answer to that is maybe.
Right here. Yeah, Commander?
Yeah, actually, we can grab a point of tactics for Poet, and that's great. We're going to take Tactician. Perfect.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Good to go.
And that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and deploy somewhere. We need to, as I said, continue building up a bit of a nest egg, although we should probably try to do something a little bit more difficult to rack up some repair time to travel to a different location, because I'd like to go after maybe some additional flashpoints or something along those lines. I mean, these aren't exactly what I'm looking for, but I mean, we do not know where our next Flashpoint campaign is going to take us, right? We've not finished the Flashpoint campaign. So, let's just deploy somewhere, build up a nest egg. 1.4 mil, this is slightly better here. And I think that's what we'll look for. And let's see, no free priority salvage at all, so we'll just sit straight down the middle. Sounds good to me. The Orion is now usable. We're going to be bringing this Griffin along. Disgusting. We're going to leave... do we want to leave the Atlas at home for this? This is going to be in Lowlands. I guess. This will be fine. I don't really want to bring that Griffin along. And that Mech Warrior is not very good, shall we say. Those stats are absolutely abysmal. So that's going to be interesting for sure. This is what, a battle? Yeah, this is a battle because we have the we have the VIP. We're gonna have to keep them alive, and at this difficulty that could be interesting. This is 4.5 skull and they're in a Griffin. So we're gonna have to keep them pretty far back. They're not gonna be contributing, I don't think. I mean, unless we get in there and we're against a bunch of, like, light helicopters. That can happen. But also, we could get in there and they could get instantly one-shot by, like, 3 heavy bombers. So, who knows? It could be anything. And the fact that the loading screen hasn't loaded yet does have me slightly concerned. That does often mean that it's going to be a lot more difficult than it necessarily has to be. Like, we're talking a lot of units. Not necessarily powerful units, but that in my experience, generally means that. Although I feel like I've kind of been saying that, and then it doesn't happen recently. I don't know. Maybe that's something that the RogueTech devs have fixed. But there's definitely a lot of variability in loading time. That's for sure. And ultimately, that's kind of down to, like, asset reuse and where you're loading in, right? If you're loading into a location with only a couple of assets and just the map there and like 2 enemy types, yeah, it's going to load faster than if you're loading like 15 different enemy types into a like urban biome with all sorts of different assets. And yeah, it's going to be a thing. But this is a lowland battle, so we need to destroy the enemy lance and keep the official alive. A mid-level government official has decided to personally patrol a moderately dangerous region of the planet. We've done our best to dissuade her, but she's insistent that she show the people she's willing to take risks on their behalf. Rather than let her stumble around in her family's ancestral Griffin until some opportunistic pirate decides to murder her, we'd like for you to escort her and keep her alive. On one hand, a Griffin is a tough mech, given the kinds of enemies we're likely to run into out here. On the other hand, any official who thinks personally patrolling is a good idea may not be the best pilot around, indeed. And honestly, the Griffin is not a tough mech for what we're likely to run into out here. The VIP is upset at us for being here, blah blah blah. The VIP is dumb. We do have allies. Okay. This is kind of a spicy place to land. There's not a lot of cover. Our allies are off over here. That's the future evac zone. We may want to land over here near our allies, where there's cover. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's see what we've got.
Hey, after we finish, swimming anyone?
Whoa. Look at this place. It's so...
The allies actually landed over here, instead of
What are
over here
those?
like the game led me to believe, but that's okay. We do see an enemy ghost over there.
Whoa. Look at this place. It's
Not
so
that big of a deal.
green.
So what, a Phoenix Hawk? I think that's, yeah, a Phoenix Hawk. Okay.
Commander?
Still not that big of a deal. We do have rear arc on this ghost.
I'm here.
Gonna step forward with the Battle Master here.
Yes.
We're gonna Warlord. If we get lucky here, and we'll have to get quite lucky, we could kill this ghost.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not surprised about that. Our odds were very low. But it's okay. I figured it was worth a go. The Griffin moves over, this is our allied Griffin, and attacks the enemy Phoenix Hawk. Surprisingly, it got a head hit there. The Ghost moves into that same area, fires on our Battle Master. Doesn't get much done.
Damage looks light, Commander.
Cool.
Taking
So our
minimal
Black
damage.
Knight is going to step forward over
Moving to
here,
position.
and we're going to fire on the Ghost here. We could theoretically stray shot the Phoenix Hawk behind. Yep, a little bit of damage there. Hunter moves in, fires on the Ghost side arc. Cool.
What can I do for you?
Our Mauler is pretty wildly out of range. We're going to sprint forward with that. The
Receive.
Magcat Mark II, on the other hand, we just need to get into LOS, and we're going to sprint forward to get an LOS, but then we're going to shoot at this guy here. We'll go ahead and Warlord it. It's round 1, so we don't have sensors, and we don't have visuals out here either, but we did manage to hit with one of those Gauss rifles,
Standing by.
so we'll call that good. The Salamander is going to close in as much as it can as well, and it does have visuals out here. We're going to go ahead and Warlord. This could hurt the Ghost quite a lot, or it could not. Kind of depends on how we roll here.
Copy that.
It'll definitely make it unsteady, though. That's for sure. I feel like that went pretty well, actually. We got a head hit in there. Ooh, a Highlander. I didn't notice that they had a Highlander. Shooting at the Phoenix Hawk is, I guess, okay? But with the Ghost being unsteady, that probably would have been the better choice. We're going to move up with our Corsair.
Understood.
And yeah, the Ghost is indeed the better choice. We should Warlord this, though. There we go.
I'm taking the shot.
That wasn't great, but I mean, honestly, round 1, this is about what we expect.
Aye, aye.
The Awesome is going to close in over here,
We'll go.
and we'll just pot shot those ERPPCs. We don't have Warlord for Poet, of course, but let's see what we get.
Taking the shot.
Solid. Okay, that's not bad. They do have another enemy out there, shooting at the Griffin. Cool. That is a rifleman. Okay.
What do you need?
The Griffin is going to close in over here, and the Griffin is fairly weak, keep that in mind. But we're going to pot shot out over this way. Odds are low. We don't expect much of anything from this mech warrior. Okay. Drop off up over here. Sounds good. Round 2, though, which means we have sensors. A Jenner closes in. Shoots at our Salamander. We don't care. Okay.
Hey,
The Battle Master is going to move up here, and let's check our hit odds.
okay.
Yeah. The Rifleman's actually surprisingly good, but we have more rolls on the Ghost, so that's what we'll take. That should be a knockdown. Excellent. And now I'm kind of hoping that our allies deal with that Ghost. Phase 20, they're going to move their Phoenix Hawk. Cool. Shooting at the Griffin there, that's fine.
That's all you got?
And now they're going to Ace Pilot. Where are they going to Ace Pilot to? Okay, cool.
Good to go.
The Salamander is going to close in ever so slightly here. Our heat is a concern. But I want to fire on this Rifleman. How's this looking? Honestly, this is fine. We'll have to take a heat sink round after this. But hit that Rifleman.
Target locked in.
The Rifleman is not happy.
Taking heat damage.
Oh, exciting time for
Awaiting
a coughing
orders.
fit there.
On the move.
Okay, there we go. Let's see what we've got here.
Target locked.
Knockdown on the Rifleman. Sounds good. Trying to narrate this in between coughing bouts. Not like any sort of sickness or anything, just happens to inhale saliva. I don't recommend it. Like, I really don't recommend it. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward here with our Corsair. We have 2 knockdowns. And I think we go for the Rifleman here. Finish him. 1 dead Rifleman. These guys are going to land soon enough. And we're going to have to close in up on top of this ridge to be able to actually engage them. The Madcap Mark II can move in over here. We've got some obstructed LOS here, unfortunately, but... it's got to be the Ghost. Hopefully we don't stray shot. And we did. Good. That's fantastic. Our friend the Highlander closes in, fires on the Phoenix Hawk, gets a solid Gauss hit there. Into a structure exposure. Cool.
Waiting on you, Commander.
The Mauler is going to sprint forward up over here.
Got it. Max
And
speed,
I want
no
it
shooting.
to finish off this Ghost. Not the right torso. Left torso is better. Okay.
Want some more? Huh?
Nothing too major there, but I'm not shocked by that.
Yeah?
The Griffin is going to close into this cover. And checking hit odds on the Jenner. Yeah, definitely the Ghost.
Targeting on Alpha.
Missing the PPZ again. Hilarious.
Oh,
Ammo explosion happening, though. Cool.
Standing by.
Our Awesome is going to close in over here. And... I mean, once again, it has to be the Ghost.
Firing on target.
There we go. Ghost is dead.
Mech destroyed.
Now then. Diamond Shark. Okay. So that's not a lance at all. That'll be a star. And we'll see what happens with those. The Jenner will close in over here, presumably. Presumably. Yeah, there it comes. Firing once again on the Griffin. Okay, they're focusing that pretty hard, but that's okay. Okay, what do they have over here? They have a Sun Spider, a Summoner, a Grendel. This is a heavier lance, for sure. Completely missing the Griffin there. I like it. And that's an adder. Okay. Not too bad. That is actually a lance, not a star. Cool. Ooh, that's a shutdown. That Phoenix Hawk just shut down. Summoner moves up, doesn't really do anything of note.
No.
The Battle Master is going to step in over here, and we're going to check in on the Jenner hit odds. 48%. I'm going to go for the Phoenix Hawk here. Just because I want things with more rolls to go on the Jenner.
I
Delayed ejection. Fantastic. Our friend the Griffin moves in, fires on that Jenner. It does get a hit with the Gauss there. That's huge, actually. Sun Spider closing in a bit. And we just kind of want them to come towards us here. That would be nice. They're kind of not, but
I hear ya.
fair enough. The Mauler is going to sprint up over here. The question is, do we fire the LBXs here? I think the answer is no, but I'll potshot the SRMs.
No sweat.
Okay, a little bit of damage there.
Another hit like that, and you're toast.
That'll be good. Okay, at this point it'll be the Grendel. Kind of looping around.
Waiting for
Okay.
order.
Well, the Salamander is going to go for the shooting here, and we're just going to not fire this MRM-40 so that we sink some heat. Maybe not even the ATM because of hit chance. And just do something like this. We're hoping to make the Jenner unsteady. Okay, that was a lot of damage there, but not actually a lot of instability. The Hunter moves up and fires on the Jenner. This could make it unsteady. And it did. Fantastic.
Awaiting orders.
The Black Knight closes in,
Copy that.
and this Jenner is, I think, super dead here.
Affirmative. Reporting critical
That spread
hit.
out quite a bit. I mean, it was front arc. 5 HP in the CT. Okay, it was very close to dead. We're going to step forward with the Corsair here, and honestly, I think we don't fire the Gauss, but everything else. There we go.
All primary targets have been destroyed.
So now we need to destroy the Diamond Shark forces.
Target destroyed.
And we're going to do exactly that. We can evac at any time. Yeah, we're not going to. Okay, the Highlander moves up, doesn't fire, of course.
What's up, boss?
Our Madcap Mark II is just going to sprint forward, and this is all we're going to be doing for the next little bit, is trying to make our way up onto that ridge. So we're going to head on up over here.
Yep.
I suppose we could lob our LRMs up here, but I don't think there's much point. Okay,
Here.
so the Battle Master will continue to advance.
Oh boy, here we go.
And here's the question. Do they try to take the ridge here? The answer appears to be a solid no on that one. They don't seem to be interested.
Yes, Commander.
Okay. Our Black Knight is going to advance.
Affirmative.
We should be able to get into LOS to fire starting next round with the Black Knight. Okay. I'd love it if they'd just come down this way. They're just kind of running around out there. The Salamander is going to sprint forward, finish sinking its heat out. Yeah, they're just chilling in this forest over
What
here.
can I do for you?
The Mauler will continue to head forward. It'll be a long time before the Mauler's in firing range. And that's okay. Hey, 6 damage from our friend the Griffin there. Cool. And finally, this will be their Grendel. Okay, sounds good.
Commander?
So our Madcap Mark II is going to
You want
make its
fast?
way through these trees.
I can give you fast.
The Corsair is going to step
Understood.
forward a
Moving
bit,
fast.
but mostly sink its heat. There we go.
What do you need?
The Griffin is honestly just going to stay put.
Got it. Then
I don't want to risk the Griffin in this engagement.
in.
There's no point. Okay, next round. Let's see what they do. They have 2 phase 22 movers. The Sun Spider just kind of chills in the forest there.
boss.
Our Salamander is going to sprint on
Acknowledged.
forward. We're heading for this ridgeline. The Summoner actually joins the Grendel out over here.
Hey,
Interesting. Our Battle Master is going to position up over
you
here.
say so.
And let's see what these guys want to do over this way. No damage into that Sun Spider. They're being very passive for Clan. The adder comes forward a little bit, but
Commander?
still sticks to those trees. We do get an LOS up here. It
Here
is
we go.
obstructed LOS, but we could fire on the summoner or on the Grendel, and the summoner is the obvious choice here. I should have warlorded that in retrospect. But we got some good armor shred in there. The hunter moves in, does no damage.
I hear ya.
The mauler is going to sprint up over here. It's, of course, not in LOS and nowhere near.
Yeah?
The corsair is going to make its way through these trees. Let's see what their Grendel does here. It can fire on the Black Knight at this point. But it shouldn't. Good.
Standing by.
It would have been a bit of a mistake for it, too, I think.
On it.
Okay, the Madcap Mark II moves up. Highlander, not shooting there. No
Yep.
firing solution, I guess. Our Griffin is just going to chill back over
Copy
here.
that.
That'll be fine.
Standing by.
The Awesome, can it get LOS up here? Yes, it can just squeak in an
Roger
LOS
that.
here. On that Summoner. Okay, this time I would Warlord it. But Poet doesn't have Warlord. Not much for hits onto that Summoner, but that's okay. And the Summoner will move next phase here. Sun Spider closes in a bit, fires on our Black Knight. Doesn't get much done, honestly. That's fine.
Awaiting orders.
Our Black Knight is going to position up over here. And from this position, we can fire at any of these. We go for whoever our hit odds are best on, which is actually the Adder, of all things. We're going to Warlord that. Side arc into this Adder. We could do a lot of damage here. Structure exposure, double heat sink destruction.
That's gonna hurt.
Excellent. We are in cover, and we are bulwarked, so all is good there. They're firing on the Grendel, getting a decent smattering of damage in there. That was like, what, 10 damage? Something like that? Not too bad. At this point, they're going to move their Summoner and their Grendel. They're definitely going to swing over this way and start attacking us. I'm completely okay with them attacking the Hunter. That is not the threat to them. Sure. And him positioning here is actually ridiculous for us because
Waiting on
we
you,
now have
Commander.
LOS with like all of our mechs.
Moving out.
This was a foolish position for him to move to. He's not even in cover.
Right, Commander.
So that's like a quarter of his armor gone right there. The Hunter moves up, also fires on the Grendel, gets another smattering of armor reduction,
Yes, come on.
and then our Salamander walks in, and this is just free. Like, this is going to do so much damage here. Kaboom.
That's a kill.
One dead Grendel.
What?
Next up, our Battlemaster can get an LOS on the Summoner, or we can get an LOS on everything. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to move up here, fire on that Adder. We'll Warlord it, boost those odds. And that's a dead Adder. That's half the Diamond Shark force is gone already.
Target pacified. Yes,
Next up,
Commander.
the Awesome can move to here and be obstructed, or here and be obstructed, or here and be obstructed, but not at least by our mechs. So that's what we'll do. We'll fire on this Summoner. Solid hits there. That Summoner's armor is getting
Waiting
pretty
for
thin.
orders.
The Madcap Mark II is going to sprint forward. It doesn't have LOS at this time.
What do you need?
Same with the Corsair.
Bugging
They kind
out.
of fill the same role, after all. The Highlander didn't fire there.
Yeah.
Sad. The Griffin can pop over here and fire on the Summoner, and we'll do that.
Confirmed.
Little bit of damage there. Neat. Okay, so they're going to move their Summoner. If they move over here again, like they did with the... Interesting. completely missing the Griffin. We'll see where they ace pilot to. That could have done a lot of damage if they had hit with them. Oh, he's foolish. He's so foolish. This is a terrible position to be.
Standing by.
Our Black Knight is going to move up and engage the Sun Spider.
On my way.
Once again, this is pretty much just free. The Sun Spider does have a decent chunk of armor. That's expected.
Depleted my Gauss rifle ammo.
Yep.
Hey.
The Battle Master is going to move in and is also going for the Sun Spider here. Reason being, the Summoner can be attacked by all of these guys. Okay, the Sun Spider is now unsteady, but it does get to move immediately. Okay. Does a little armor damage to the Black Knight. All good. Both of those torsos are exposed, so it's in danger. The Griffin is going to fire on the Summoner. It does miss its Gauss, but it builds up a little instability and takes out some armor. The Awesome is going to step forward over here. There's flames there, which is unfortunate, but we're going to not fire this PPC, but we are going to fire our rockets.
Roger that.
Excellent.
Target's taken a critical hit. Out
Okay.
of SRMs.
The Hunter is going to also fire on that Summoner. And that actually got an engine destroyed crit from just one machine gun hit into that torso. That's hilarious. Okay. So the Madcap Mark II is going to sprint its way up. It can't get in range of the Sun Spider this round, but next round it'll be able to if the Sun Spider survives that long. Which I feel like is a pretty big if. The Salamander will step up here. We'll lob our ATMs.
Copy that.
Yeah, that's good damage there.
That hit something good.
Indeed
hear
it
ya.
did. The Mauler will sprint up. It's not going to get into
Go with
LOS.
turbo.
It's okay. Highlander, not in LOS.
Yep.
And our Corsair, not in LOS.
Got it.
Next round. No?
What do you
VIP.
need?
Okay, next round.
Managing heat.
Okay, the Griffin moves. The Sun Spider moves after the Griffin. We'll see if this takes out... It destroys the IATM-6. I guess that's okay. Sun Spider moves now. I was hoping that we would move before it. It charges our Battle Master. This could be a knockdown on the Battle Master, but there's no follow-up for this.
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's a knockdown, but again, there's no follow-up. None at all.
My head.
So the Battle Master is just completely fine
aye.
here. The Black Knight is going to walk in, rear arc, kick the Sun Spider.
Copy that. Attempting physical attack.
There we go. Unsteady. And that's a kill. Fantastic.
Tango down.
Well, that was pretty easy. There were a few armor shreds that they did, but honestly, that shouldn't be too bad. We should be very, very profitable from this mission. The real question is, what are we going to get from salvage? And the answer to that is not very much. They were all mechs. We might scrap a few mech parts here, or, well, we'll see. We'll see what's available. Yeah, the Black Knight took some shredding there. The Battle Master took some shredding. It's fine, though. Yeah, all of these are kind of mediocre mech parts. And there's the Sun Spider and the Summoner parts. Those aren't bad. We could just take the Sun Spider parts and see if we get all of them. That'd be hilarious. Got a Jenner part, Ghost part, Summoner part. We got 4 of the 5 Sun Spiders. Okay. A Battle Computer Energy, we do have one of those. A Clan Cockpit, we're going to definitely keep that around. And IATM ammo, mediocre on the salvage. Mediocre. I mean, the mech parts are good. Don't get me wrong about that. In terms of damage, we did take a decent amount on the Black Knight and the Battle Master. Not really too much else. So that shouldn't be that big of a deal, all things considered. I think that Yang is going to come back with an estimate of perhaps 60,000 C-bills. I feel like that's maybe a little bit lowballing. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little higher than that. Like 60 to 100. Somewhere in that range. If it's higher than that, I'll be a little surprised. But we'll see. The real question is, how long will it take Yang to get us that estimate? It is, however, past time to put a cut in here, so once we have that, I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Ah, there we go, 80,000. Okay, sounds good. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.